on the internet. At least live here on YouTube.com, I think. Give me a second while we wait for things to start. Just a second. Oh, we're live. I can see that I'm live now. Although I see my stream is offline. Let's see what happens if I hit refresh here real quick. Sorry. Yay, technical difficulties. There we go. Now I can see myself. Alright. So, yeah. I'm Jack Burton. Kevin Augspurger, aka Jack Burton. And this is just a quick little how do you do? We're going to talk about E3 2016, which starts in, oh man, less than 48 hours. Everybody, all the journalists, all the game companies, everybody's getting down there in LA right now, getting ready. Everything's getting set up. Convention floor is getting all set up. So yeah, there's quite a bit going on. Just type here real quick. And the Royals just lost, so it's a great night. So anyway, let's get started. Yeah, E3 2016 starts in less than 48 hours. Everybody's converging on LA right now, like I just said. Things are going to start getting pretty crazy here pretty soon. But let's just kind of go over. Let's talk about what's coming up for the show. I want to talk about a few different things. I want to talk about what's already been announced. Kind of the press conferences, how those are going to run, how those are going to shake out, who's coming up, who's got press conferences, who's showing off what that we already know about, and then probably make some predictions, see like what we're going to see at each of these, what surprises could be in store for each of these, because there's going to be some, and then we'll just talk about where you're going to see the best coverage. I mean, I'm not going to be at E3. I'm back here in Kansas City. I got a job. Got to go to my job. But there's a lot of places on the internet, some really great places on the internet where you can get full E3 coverage, and I'll try to at least give you my take on where the best ones are. So yeah, let's start at the beginning. The press conferences. We're going to start it off Sunday afternoon. EA has their EA Live event near the convention center. They're not taking part in E3 this year. They're just going to be doing their own thing off to the side, which is kind of smart when you think about it. They're going to have enough stuff there. They'll have all their EA Sports games. They'll have Battlefield 1. They'll have Titanfall 2, which they've already announced. So they'll have everything there. I mean, they'll have enough there to put something. Plus, I'm sure they'll have some little indie games, kind of like Unravel from last year. They'll have stuff ready to go, stuff for people to see. So we'll see what exactly they have in store. But they've got enough stuff. And plus, I forgot Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be there too, most likely. At least in some form or another. I mean, it's supposed to come out early 2017, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, they've got a lot coming up, so we definitely will see a lot from them on Sunday afternoon. So yeah, getting started with that, like I just said, Titanfall 2. I'm sure that will make a splash there somewhere. It looks great, from what I've been told. It's going to expand upon what's already there. Titanfall is still a huge hit on Xbox One. There's still a huge community around it. A lot of people still playing it. PC has got a pretty good following too. This new one's going to be coming to PS4 as well as Xbox One. So you might see it at the Sony press conference too, if they just want to make a splash, say, hey, we're going to have Titanfall also now. But I could also see Microsoft winding that back into their press conference, just to kind of see how things go. Titanfall is a huge system seller for the Xbox One. You would think they'd kind of want to, go with the hand that feeds them. Anyway, that being said, EA is also going to have Mass Effect Andromeda. They're going to have, I would assume we're going to see something playable there. Who knows what exactly they're going to have. They could just be a trailer, but it could be something playable. You never know. We'll find out what happens then. Then we also have Well, you're gonna have a new Madden. You're gonna have a new NHL. Probably gonna have the new Rory McIlroy golf game from them, as well as actually no, they're not doing an NBA Live this year, so there won't be any of that. You'll also have the new FIFA. Let's see, Titanfall. I'm sure they're gonna have some indie games. From what I understand, Unravel was a pretty big push for them last year, so they're gonna try to do that again this year, and probably expand on that even more. So we'll see how that goes. They've got a lot ready to go, and I'm sure we'll see a whole bunch from them come Sunday. So after they're done with their thing, they've got like their little EA Live thing where they'll have people that can come. You can go if you're in the LA area, you can go and play their games. Just be a whole bunch of stuff there. It just depends on what you want to do. After that, Bethesda takes the stage Sunday night around 6:30 local time, LA time. And Bethesda, I mean, last year they really kicked the show off last year quite spectacularly. They had Fallout 4 that they led off. Actually, no, they led off with Doom, and then they followed it up with Fallout 4 and gave a quick teaser of Dishonored 2. And I mean, those three games alone, man, those are some really heavy hitters. Doom at the time was kind of an unknown quantity. Now that it's actually out, we know that Doom was amazing. What a fantastic game. I just got done beating it earlier this week. I really want to go back and play through it again. If I didn't have every other game out that I wanted to play through right now. But that's neither here nor there. Fallout 4 also a huge success. Runs like crap on consoles, but still a fantastic game if you've got a PC to run it on. With that being said, this year Bethesda, I'm pretty sure, is going to dedicate most of their time to Dishonored 2. That's probably their big game they've got coming up that everybody knows about. There's a chance we could see, I've heard rumblings from a few different websites saying that a new Wolfenstein game could be coming out this year or early in 2017, so we might see that. At least some trailer or maybe a little playable demo, something like that. There's a good possibility we see something about Doom, either multiplayer DLC or single-player DLC. I would love single-player DLC, but I know they've already announced that before the game came out that their season pass was pretty much centered around their multiplayer. So, and there was just a thing that came out this morning saying that the company that handled their multiplayer was more or less fired, and it is taking that in-house to finish it up, or to fix it, basically. So we'll see how things go with that, but I think we'll hear something about that, just with the notoriety and the response that Doom has had post-release. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. It's pretty amazing. That being said, we might hear something about Fallout 4 DLC. Far Harbor just came out last week, but I know they've still got some more DLC they're working on. Maybe we hear something about it, maybe not. There's rumblings that there's going to be a Skyrim remastered, like an HD remaster that'll be coming out. I don't know why you do that. I mean, maybe you put it in as a bundle if you've got a game coming out. Like maybe you announce that it's backwards compatible for Xbox One, like from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. I just don't see a remaster of Skyrim really doing great unless you're going to put mods on with the Xbox One version. Because, I mean, if you've got a PC, guess what? The game already looks freaking amazing. And it's got mod support. You don't need to do anything with that. I mean, it only really makes sense for putting it out on the Xbox One and the PS4. And guess what? If you can do backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, hey, it might be a good throw-in if you want somebody to pre-order a game you've got coming up, like, say, I don't know, another Elder Scrolls game or like a Fallout DLC. I don't know. But, that would make more sense to me. By the way, I'm drinking a Sam Adams Whitewater IPA right now. It's a little more bitter than I usually like my IPAs, but it's not bad. Ooh. Anyway, back to it. So yeah, I think we'll see Dishonored 2. We'll definitely see some gameplay from that. Probably a good 10-15 minute demo. Doom multiplayer, Doom DLC, something around there. Maybe some Fallout 4 stuff. I think we see some Wolfenstein stuff for the new game. Not sure what exactly that's going to be. Is it going to be picking up where the new order left off? Is it going to be something kind of in between or before the Old Blood? I don't know, but I'm excited to see what Machine Games does with the Wolfenstein franchise going forward, because I mean they really hit it out of the park with New Order and the Old Blood. Both games are really great. Bethesda's really really hitting on all cylinders right now. I can't say too much more about that. They might have a surprise or two there. There's been rumblings of some other stuff, but that's all the known quantities for right now. So that's it for Sunday night. Before we get into Microsoft's press conference, one game that did get announced that really it piqued my interest was Agents of Mayhem from Volition Software. Those are the guys behind the Saints Row franchise. And it's not technically a Saints Row game, but they got the fleur-de-lis in there, and they make a little quip about it, not being gangsters. So I gotta say, it's Volition doing their open world stuff, but it's not Saints Row, so they've got a little more freedom to do kind of more superhero-y type stuff, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I'm really looking forward to it. I would really like to see a demo. Maybe we see it at Microsoft or Sony's press conference, who knows. But it just got announced earlier this week, and I think it could be a very interesting game. I'm really looking forward to see what they've got coming with that game, because the initial trailer looked like a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see it. So yeah, that brings us to Microsoft. Microsoft's going to go on Monday morning. They've got the 9 a.m. slot, local LA time, so that should be pretty interesting. They've got, let's see, they've got some interesting. They got an interesting slate. That's about the best I can say. So the known quantities that they've announced before are you got Rare working on Sea of Thieves, which I'm not quite sure what that game is. I think it might be an MMO. I think it might not be. Not really sure, but I'm really interested to see what they do, because it's Rare, and it seems to be a revitalized Rare that's like they just said, okay, forget all the Kinect stuff. We're actually going to do games again. So I'm excited about that. On the other hand, it's like I said, it's still Rare. They haven't really had a huge game. Now, Rare Replay was fantastic, but that was a lot of them drawing on what made them Rare in the first place. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm cautiously optimistic about how that's going to go. So you got Sea of Thieves. You'll probably see maybe Battlefield show up, or you'll see it might not be Battlefield, but you'll see maybe Titanfall 2 show up. I think you'll definitely see maybe Deus Ex Human Revolution there. See if they do some sort of exclusive DLC or something like that, kind of like what they did with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Let's see, what else are they going to have? I think we might get something for Killer Instinct, maybe like the next character. I know Gargos just got released. Iron Galaxy's always kind of teasing what's next. Maybe we see Street Fighter V there. I highly doubt it, just because of all the money Sony popped up for Street Fighter V in the first place. But I know Capcom was really not happy with how that thing sold. But then again, if they wanted to sell better, they probably shouldn't have released a half-assed game to begin with. And they're getting things on track, but it's mildly disappointing. So yeah, Microsoft we'll probably see we'll see some more Scalebound. That was announced last year. I think we'll see a lot of Recore. Was another game Keiji Inafune of Mega Man and Dead Rising fame has been working on for the last at least 2 years. They showed it off at E3 last year in just a teaser trailer form. I think we actually get some gameplay here. I'm interested to see what that is. I don't think Inafune's made a bad game yet, although Mighty No. 9 might be the first one he's kind of tied to. We'll see. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what that is. I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of ID at Xbox games that they kind of show off, give some time to, as well as maybe some of the new dashboard stuff. Maybe we get to see some HoloLens in there again. Some new Xbox Live features or something like that. I bet you they spend a little bit of time with Xbox backwards compatibility. They might add some more support for some games, maybe like Red Dead Redemption. I could see them releasing a big chunk of backwards compatible games people have been clamoring for at E3. It'd be a nice goodwill gesture, especially with everything they've got coming up. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be pretty good for Microsoft. Now, the two big elephants in the room that Giant Bomb and Kotaku have been talking about lately are the Slim Xbox One and the Xbox Scorpio. So, if you're not too familiar, there's a rumored Slim Xbox One that should be coming out sometime this year. They're going to announce it at E3, most likely. It's supposed to be cheaper, slimmer, and it will be capable of supporting 4K television sets, one way or another. What that means, probably not anything for gaming, but it'll play like 4K Blu-rays, and it'll support 4K broadcasts on Netflix or Amazon or something like that. So, not like 4K for gaming, but it'll be 4K for TV and media, basically. And then also the other rumor is, and it's not even a rumor, it's pretty much confirmed. I think Microsoft's going to have to talk about it, just to kind of quell fears and just kind of, move on with things. The Xbox Scorpio, it's kind of the Xbox 1.5, basically. It's supposed to be a more powerful version of the hardware with faster CPU, faster GPU, faster RAM. Basically, it would be capable of doing 4K resolution for games and would make your games look better and flashier, better lighting, better frame rate, that kind of stuff. So, we'll see. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, has been out there talking about how they want to make things more like Apple's model, where they have a hardware refresh every year, every 2 years. It's still an iPhone, but this is the new powerful iPhone. All your old stuff still works, but some of the new stuff doesn't work on the old stuff. You don't want to see them really split their user base like that, but they're behind in the console race. They're starting to get, I won't say desperate, but they need to make some moves, and I think this is a good year to do it. They've been doing fairly well so far, but this is the time to kind of switch things up and try and go in a different direction. We'll see how that goes. If you ask me, I think the right thing to do if they're going to do something like that is to offer some sort of, I won't say buyback, but like a special trade-in program, something more than what GameStop would give you, $100 towards your Xbox One Scorpio if you trade it in, something a little more substantial than that, just to kind of give some goodwill. Maybe give people that bought day one consoles, an extra $100 off if you trade it in, or I don't know, but I think there's definitely, if they announce something like that, they're going to cannibalize sales right now. That's not supposed to be out till sometime 2017. I just kind of wonder where that goes. Sony, I'm going to jump ahead just a tiny bit. Sony just announced today that they're not going to be talking about the PS4K or the PS4 Neo, whatever you want to call it, at E3 this year. They're going to focus on PSVR and the PS4 itself for this year. So that kind of opens the door a little bit for Microsoft. If they want to talk about the Scorpio, they can totally do that. And they can make Sony's stuff look kind of bad in comparison. But at the same time, it kind of gets nebulous. They could hold on to that and make Sony sweat it out a little bit more if they wanted to. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't know what's going to happen. I know Microsoft is playing things pretty close to the chest right now, but it's going to be interesting. It's always interesting that Microsoft goes first and then Sony gets to go. So Microsoft always gets to make the first move, and then Sony gets to respond, and they could have a response ready to go. They usually do. So it's the situation is definitely in Sony's favor. I'll just say that. That's not to say Microsoft can't put some pressure on them, but Sony definitely has the advantage in getting to make the last word between the two companies. So yeah, after Microsoft goes, and I think, we see something about Halo Wars 2. I think they just announced the public beta for that. It's going to go up June 13th. Probably see some Gears of War 4 too, 4 as well. Sorry. Excuse me, Gears of War 4 as well. And Scale Down, Recore, probably some other games too, but those are the big ones I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, that's about it for Microsoft. We'll see how things go there. Next, after them, you've got Ubisoft. You get to see Aisha Tyler doing her thing for Ubisoft, and yeah, we'll see how all that stuff plays out. Hopefully they won't have any bad cosplayers out there that when she talks to them just say, hey, I'm here because Ubisoft told me to be here. While that was really hilarious, it probably wasn't the best look. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things go. Ubisoft already announced Watch Dogs 2. They put out a little trailer for it, and it leaked pretty early. So, there's definitely stuff out there. They've got Watch Dogs 2. Maybe we'll see Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, just because I know Michel Ancel's working on that other game he's got going on. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's like the wilderness survival thing where like he could ride a bear, and yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was called. I want to say it was like Wild. That sounds right. Wild. Something like that. I'll look it up later. But yeah, just Ubisoft will have Watch Dogs 2. They might talk about the Assassin's Creed movie coming out this summer. I don't know. Or is it? No, it's this fall. Sorry. So I don't know. They've got a lot of stuff coming out. Not quite as much as they always do. And then they've also got the shadow of that big Vivendi takeover that could happen. That's got to make things at least a little awkward. But they'll probably have something Rabbids related. They'll probably also have something with why can't I think of it? They'll have Ghost Recon Wildlands there too. That should be in playable form, so we should know a lot more about that. They've got a lot of stuff that they can talk about. I just don't know. I'm just not setting my expectations too high for Ubisoft's press conference. They've got a lot on their plate right now, and I think they've got some stuff that they'd like to get out. There's supposedly a South Park Stick of Truth sequel that they're working on, or that somebody's working on at Ubisoft, so that might show up, and there might be a Prince of Persia game in there. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but there's definitely a lot there that they could talk about. But only Watch Dogs 2 and the Michel Ancel game, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's about all we know for sure right now. It's coming out, and I'm sure once their press conference is over, we'll see trailers on trailers on trailers for the next 8 months until one of those games comes out. But after Ubisoft's done, Monday night, Sony gets to take the stage, and they get to do their thing. They've already said they're not going to talk about the PS4 Neo or the PS4K, whatever you want to call it. So that's not going to be on the table. My guess is they spend a lot of their press conference focused on PSVR, because they've got to show people that people need that thing. VR is going to take off. My guess is PlayStation 4 VR is going to be the easiest way for people to get in their head, because they've already got PS4s. All they're going to have to buy is a $400 set to enable that. Well, $500 when you add in the camera. But yeah, basically a $400 set to get that going. That's the cheapest way to get into VR right now. So I think they are definitely the ones that could really make mass market penetration with that. So they're gonna do what they can this show to get people to buy in and understand why they have to have VR. We'll have the Dream stuff from Insomniac, or was it Insomniac? I think it was Insomniac. You'll have whatever tech demos they've been building up. So I'm sure you'll have some indie games that have already come out on Oculus. You'll have Elite Dangerous. You'll have they've already announced Eve Valkyrie. I think they said they were going to have like 98 games by the end of 2016 for PSVR. That's a staggering number. I might be wrong. It might be 68, but still, even 68 games for PSVR is just incredible. So we'll see. That might just be like 60 tech demos and then 8 actual games. Who knows? But I think they have to have content if they're going to sell that thing. And they've got to show people with some live demos, hey, this is how this works. This is how well this works. And come play on the show floor, because you've got to see it to believe it. You got to play it to believe it. So I think they're going to dedicate, I'd say, at least a good third of their press conference to VR games, if not more. I think you also see, you see Call of Duty there. I think you maybe see Destiny there with the new Rise of Iron expansion pack. I'm sure that exclusivity deal isn't quite working out the way Sony hoped it would, but it's still something it's a feather in their cap, and I'm sure they would love to show it off. Excuse me just a second. That's a little better. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, they're gonna show off Destiny if they can. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure we will probably hear something about Final Fantasy, whether it's Final Fantasy 15, which is supposed to be coming out later this year, or if it's Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Who knows? Maybe we find out more about how they're splitting the game up into 3 games. Like, is there a demo? Like, are they going to say, hey, and the demo's out today? Something like that. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 could be announced. There's all kinds of crazy things that Sony could pull out of their hat this year at E3. Last year they pulled out Shenmue. Last year they pulled out Psychonauts 2. They've definitely got a lot of goodwill on their side. And my guess is they don't want to squander any of that anytime soon. So they'll probably pull out some stops, and they'll probably have a few surprises, even if they're going to let the PS4 Neo kind of simmer for a little bit. I'm guessing they're going to have some big guns that they'll want to show off. The Last Guardian, they might have that playable here. Who knows? There's just so much they've got that they could show off. I think their press conference is going to be really interesting to see, especially in the wake of what Microsoft announces earlier that morning. Especially if they go ahead and announce the Xbox Scorpio or whatever it's going to be called. But yeah, after them, that's pretty much it for Monday night. That's the end of the main press conferences. On Tuesday morning, Nintendo has their live stream, their Nintendo Direct live stream, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be mainly focused on the new Legend of Zelda game, the open world one they've been working on forever and just delayed to 2017. Now, they say that they're delaying it to get ready for the Nintendo NX as well as the Wii U. So once again, you've got a Twilight Princess situation where it's going to come out on both consoles. Now, they're saying it's going to be day and date on both consoles. We'll see if that happens. I'm guessing they're going to make sure it works on the Nintendo NX before they make sure it works on the Wii U. But supposedly it's going to be playable on the show floor. They're going to give people a really good look at what it actually is. We'll see a lot more about it. That's basically all they're going to be showing off. They're going to be showing off a little bit of Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is coming out pretty soon too here in the States. They're also going to be showing off the new Shin Megami Tensei hashtag FE game, like the J-pop culture mashup thing that's coming out on the Wii U. Or is it? No, that's coming out on the 3DS, I think. Yeah, 3DS. So that's certainly a thing. And I'm sure they'll probably talk a little bit about their mobile stuff, like maybe like how well Miitomo has done for them, what they've got coming up in the future. I think they're going to be talking about Pokemon Go on a live stream, not on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, I think. They're going to have a Pokemon Go stream, like a Q&A with the developer. I'm kind of interested to see what that is. I'm really looking forward to Pokemon Go. I mean, just to actually go out, like, use your phone, find Pokemon in the wild, and play against other people as you run into them. That seems pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of the microtransactions that Nintendo put into Miitomo, but I will say that they've got promise with what they're doing, and if supposedly there's an Animal Crossing game that could be coming out for mobile, and man, let me tell you, a mobile Animal Crossing game could be pretty fucking amazing. I mean, that could be incredible if they do it right. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm really interested to see what Nintendo's got. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so I really want to see what they've got there. But the rest of their stuff, even if it is just kind of a footnote on everything else, I do want to see what they've got coming up. So, that's pretty much a rundown for all the press conferences. Predictions. I think we do get a slim Xbox One this year. Probably same price, maybe $299, $249. I know the Xbox One just dropped its price to $299. I think you see a Sony PlayStation 4 price drop too. Maybe not to $299, but to $349. They're still making money hand over fist at $399. So they might just drop just to kind of try to keep pace with Microsoft, even though they don't really need to. But it might be they might announce some sort of bundle pack too with the PSVR that's coming out this fall as well. So there's a lot of stuff to watch on that. Microsoft could announce the Xbox Scorpio for 2017. We'll see. I don't think Nintendo's. I mean, they've already said as much. They're not going to announce anything with a Nintendo NX, but maybe just watching that Nintendo live stream with Zelda, maybe that kind of informs a little bit about what the NX is going to be. Just in kind of broad strokes. Maybe not, but you never know. Other things to kind of keep an eye out for. I think we get a few surprises. I don't think Half-Life 3 shows up. I don't think a new Red Dead game shows up. It's been rumored to be in development. I think they registered a trademark. Rockstar did recently, but Rockstar just doesn't really do anything at E3. I mean, that's just, they'll release a trailer when they're damn well ready to. If there was something that was going to be at E3 in one of Microsoft or Sony's press conference, they would have already shown off something. And so I just don't think they're going to have anything there. Even though Take-Two is going to have a decent showing. I think they've got Take-Two, 2K. I think they've got Mafia 3 that'll be there. And they'll probably have something BioShock, is my guess. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing they'll have something there. Other than Mafia. I mean, they'll definitely have NBA 2K17 there. And I'm sure they'll have something WWE there as well. I think Xavier Woods is going to be on the show floor doing some stuff with that too for Up, Up, Down, Down. But for the most part, I think that's pretty much it. I see there's nobody really watching right now aside from myself. So I'd take questions if anybody's here. I'll give it a minute. I'll kind of ramble for another minute here. If you want to watch E3 from home, if you can't make it to LA, can't make it to any of the press conferences, don't have the hookups, you're kind of in the same boat as myself. I'm not going to be able to make it to E3. I'm just going to be sitting here in Kansas City. I'm going to be working while most of this stuff is going on. But there are some really great places to watch coverage of E3. Excuse me. First and foremost, I will tell you that GiantBomb.com is going to have the best coverage of the live streaming press conferences. They basically will, I won't say Mystery Science Theater 3000 over them, but they will give you their thoughts in real time on what is happening. It's always entertaining. It's always a lot of fun. Those guys they're not jaded, but they've seen a lot of stuff in this industry, and they know when BS is being called. or they know when to call BS on a lot of this stuff. They've seen it before. They can tell when people are just talking straight out of their ass. So that'll be interesting. I love watching those guys just to kind of see what their reaction is, because I think they're probably the most genuine guys out there when it comes to reactions and their feelings, their takes on games. So I like to watch them. If you also, if you're not a big Giant Bomb fan, if you don't like the guys on there, YouTube is going to have some fantastic coverage on their gaming app. So I'm sure you can check it out every day with them. I think all the guys over at Kinda Funny Games are going to have some stuff there too. Greg Miller and his crew. They'll have lots of stuff going on from the show floor and pre-show stuff as well. But Giant Bomb, the best thing they've got aside from the press conference live streams are the nightly shows. They have guests come on from a lot of people that actually work in the industry, make games. I think last year they had Ed Boon from NetherRealm Studios. They had John Vignacchi from the recently defunct Disney Infinity series. They had Phil Spencer from Xbox and Shuhei Yoshida from Sony. So they get a lot of good names, a lot of big names, and they usually have a lot of fun while they're doing it too. But yeah, I definitely would check them out. YouTube's going to have a bunch of great stuff. I'll probably do some sort of recap, maybe after Tuesday night. Maybe Tuesday night I'll do something once all the press conferences are done, just to kind of recap everything that happened. I'm sure you'll find it anywhere else on the internet, but I just like to give my takes on what I think I saw. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. This has been Kevin Augspurger, aka Jack Burton. If you like what you see, please, like, comment, and subscribe. You can find me on Twitter at Jack Burton, right up there. I'm also on Twitch. I am Jack Burton55, same thing with a 0 for the O and 55 after it. But yeah, E3 is upon us. Let's rejoice. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this all. This is the next 6 days are all about games. All about having fun and just playing video games, watching video games, getting hype. That's basically what the next 6 days are. So let's enjoy it. Let's have a lot of fun, and I will see you guys probably Tuesday night. Take it easy.